What's up, my dudes? Valk here. Today I'm going to be talking about my planned Xiao build. I have another video covering all possible builds about Xiao, and today is going to be solely covering about my Xiao build and getting to the nitty-gritty, the statistics, what I want to do, pieces I'm after, etc. So, let's get into it. First thing I'm going to go over is my weapon. Why do I want Skyward Spine over Jade Wingtip? Well, Jade Wing Spear is going to let me deal more damage, but Skyward Spine is going to give me energy recharge for more ult uptime. It's going to give me crit rate, which I really need with this build because it's going to be very crit starved. And it's going to increase normal attack speed by 12%. And then it has the additional hit, but that deals physical damage, so it's kind of null and void. It's not that big of a deal. But the main thing is it increases normal attack speed by 12% for me personally. I'm going to be attacking very quick. It's going to let me mitigate a lot of crit rate. I won't need as much crit rate because I'm going to be attacking so fast. I'm going to have much more likelihood of critting just by the sheer speed of attacks coming out. If an attack speed artifact set ever comes out, you can promise you I'm going to swap to that. So, we've already established I want to build towards normal attacks, and because of that, we're going to run 4-piece Gladiator. Why 4-piece Gladiator? Because I'm going to be building into a normal attack speed build. Gladiator's Finale 2-piece is going to be giving me 18% more attack. That's always nice to have. If the wielder of this artifact set uses a sword, claymore, or polearm, increases their normal attack damage by 35%. Specifically normal attacks. You can see I have a lot of things ramping into my normal attacks. And if you're wondering, hey Valk, does this work with his burst? Yes, it does. The easiest way to tell is to go to Kaching. If you go to Kaching and you use her skill, and that way you have elemental infused normals, or if you use Chong, so you can elemental infuse your normal, you can test this yourself if you have like somebody that can infuse elements onto their normal attacks. You can see Gladiator set still works. So, that being said, let's get into the little nitty-gritty, the details real quick. I'm going to be sitting at 67% crit rate. I ideally want to drop that more to around 50, maybe a little bit sub 50%. And I want to be somewhere around 150% crit damage because I really want a Gladiator Triumphant's crit damage helm. A crit damage helm is going to help me reach my goal. It's going to put me somewhere around 148.5% crit damage, which is going to make me hit very hard. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit consistency in crit rate because, like I said, I'm going to be normal attacking. So that means I'm going to be hitting very, very quickly. I don't need to prioritize crit rate as much as the other people that are doing slam builds, simply because I'm going to be attacking so much faster than them. Then you can see I'm going to be somewhere around 150% energy recharge. That's going to be very, very nice to have. The elemental mystery is already going to be high, remember that, but also on level up. If we look at ascendancy, we can't see her talent preview, but she gets elemental mastery on ascendancy too, but we can see how much we get from artifacts here in a second. You'll see we're getting a good amount of elemental mastery, so we're going to have some pretty strong swirls, 75.3%. So yeah, that's really good. I think we're able to proc the swirls with our E. I don't know exactly how it's going to work. We'll test it all when it comes out. If we can't proc swirls, then it is what it is, man. It's not that big of a deal. Then a Nemo damage bonus. With his ascendancy, it's going to be somewhere around 80% to 90%. Somewhere in that range. It's going to be really nice. Especially if I get the crit damage Gladiator Triumphants like I want, I'll be able to get up to about 150% crit rate. That's going to be very, very nice for me to have. So now let's go and peek out the artifacts and exactly how I want to improve them. So first off, I would like to swap this out with a crit damage Gladiator Triumphants with at least 10% crit rate in the substats. If I'm able to get that, that's going to make this build pop off immensely. Right now, this is easily the worst artifact, but because it is a crit rate Gladiator Triumphants, I use it, and that helps me, it really is helping me to build it out. I might build, if I get like an attack piece that gives me a lot of crit rate and crit damage on it, an attack percent helm, I might swap to that. But for right now, the crit rate from this is just going to help me with my consistency, which is very good. And then we go to a Nemo damage bonus goblet. Why do I always prioritize elemental damage percent so much? The reason I always prioritize elemental damage percent so much is because it's basically crit damage, but you don't need crit rate for it. If you're dealing a Nemo damage, you just get the instant bonus. You instantly get 47% more damage from this goblet, no questions asked. So then, if you look at the substats, you can see I have 14% crit rate. I got extremely lucky that this hit crit rate three times, so I'm able to stack up the crit rate with this, and I got a little bit more elemental mastery because I'm assuming Whenever he applies a Nemo, it swirls like anything else. They could change, but I'm assuming it swirls on the normal attacks. We'll see. We don't know. I've heard things that it doesn't. I've heard that it does. I don't know. I need to test now at this point. Because I've heard a bunch of different things back and forth. And we don't know what changes they're going to make. So we're really going to need to test when he comes out. If he swirls, I'm going to be hitting extremely hard on the swirls. Especially with all the elemental mastery I have throughout the artifacts. This is an artifact I got just today. I'm extremely happy with this hourglass. I got 47% attack. Because it's an attacks piece, this will be my filler piece. It gives me 9% crit rate. Like I said, crit rates are extremely important to have. Elemental mastery. I hit HP once, so that's a little disappointing. I think I only hit it once. A little disappointing, but then I also get 12% crit damage on top of it. So I have 9% crit rate, 12% crit damage, and one artifact. Very, very nice. We get into another really solid artifact here. 10% attack, 11% crit damage, 47 LE mastery, 11 energy recharge. Very, very good. I also have this one on the side if I feel like I need crit rate more, because this gets 20% attack and 7% crit. Also really good feathers, so I have either option available to me. Depending on how I want to build and how I want to go, if I end up getting a crit damage helm, I'll probably swap off this and go ahead and throw this on. Lose a little bit of LE mastery, lose a little bit of energy recharge, but I'll have this just in case. Next we get into the feather. This is probably the second worst, not the feather, the flower. This is probably the second worst piece I have that I wish I had some sort of replacement for it. If I ever need energy recharge, I have this. I have attack 4.1%, crit damage 7%, and 28.5% energy recharge. If I swap off this to this, I will probably throw this on. I'll lose a little bit of crit damage, but I'll gain a ton of energy recharge. So I'll be good to go energy recharge wise. If I feel like 150% isn't enough, I have this in the background because this is a really good one to hit defense once, I believe. But it hit crit damage once and also hit a lot of energy recharge. So then I have, with the one I'm using, I have 18% attack, 14% crit damage. It's going to be very good for building up that crit damage once again. But like I said, I really ideally want to swap over to a crit damage helm with around 10% crit rate substat. If I need to, I can swap to this to get a little bit of crit rate, and then I can swap over to this to pick up on the energy recharge. So yeah, that's basically me describing the build and how it's going to go. And if we go to artifact details, you can see through subsets alone, I'm getting plus 952 attack. I'm getting, or just through, this is just through the artifacts, I'm getting plus 131. Plus 54 crit rate. If I swap that crit rate out to a crit damage helm, that's going to drop all the way down to plus 23% crit rate, which is going to put me somewhere around 36% crit rate overall. And that's going to give me, that's why I want that 10% in the crit damage helm. 10% crit rate, blah blah blah. 10% crit rate from the crit damage helm will put me somewhere around 46% crit rate, which I'm extremely happy with, because as I work on refinement on my skyward spine, it's going to get up to 16%. That's going to give me 8 more. So 46% is going to put me at 54% crit rate all in all once I get skyward spine max refinement. And then, as you can see, I have 37% crit damage. If I swap the crit damage helm or the crit rate helm over to crit damage, that's going to skyrocket all the way up to 92.5% crit damage. So then when you go back and look at this, we take off 31, we go to 34, like I said, and we're going to end up around 150% crit damage, just like I said. So anyways, that is my planned build. That's my goals that I want to do with Xiao, and I have pretty much everything I need. I just need a couple more artifacts, a little more optimizing, and then I need refinements on this. So anytime this gets featured up, I'll probably summon for it anytime it's a featured weapon, because I really want refinements on this weapon, because that way I can work on the crit rate and the extra hit. Anyways guys, that's all I got for you today. Peace.